Making one last point about Diego Rivera's mural, it was more story-like in nature, just like this element. Why would it be story-like? Well, think about it like this. If I'm talking about an event that happened in the middle of the night, that took several hours, that had several events happening in it during the span of time, it's kind of hard to put it all together in one picture. So in this story-like element, when it comes to historical paintings, usually it's not going to be realistically portrayed. It's got too many elements, it's got too many important things, too many important features and people for it to be accurate. It's not like someone's filming it. So what ends up happening here is that all of those elements are put together in a composition to really show an idea. Again, we go back to that question, why would an artist portray an event unrealistically? Well, maybe it's because the emotion is more important, or what is caused by the event is much more important. For instance, the Industrial Revolution, an important event. It cannot be put in the most realistic ways because there's so many things that are important about it. Moving on to more politically based artwork. Now, if we look here at the board, politically based artwork does have commission, but its agenda, its reason for being made, its reason why people might end up commissioning it to begin with, is a much more obvious reason. For instance, if we're talking about an election poster like this one of Obama, Hope, was not commissioned, but it was used for one underlying reason, one agenda, to portray Obama in the best light possible and get him elected. That's what political posters tend to be for. The next one that we're talking about here is the We Can Do It World War poster. This one, its purpose and its agenda is obvious again. It's to put women in the workforce, to say we can do it. While our men are off fighting, we can take care of the country. We can keep on building. We can support them in one way or another. So this one was really used to recruit people or women into an industry that before had told them, no, you can't come in here. Another super popular political poster is the one of Uncle Sam saying, we want you. We want you to join the army. The last one that we're going to be talking about is the political cartoon. Here in this cartoon we have a graduate and we have someone in the army. And the one in the army is telling the graduate, I figure it's easier to find a war than to find a job these days. So it's easier to fight a war than to find a job? That's not a great type of issue, but again, its agenda is so obvious. It's trying to say, you know, this is the issue that worries me, or this is the issue that is unfair, or shouldn't be happening, or is happening. And here it is, in a very simple, very easy way to understand. A couple of words, a little bit of imagery, and the reader, the viewer, knows what it's about. Now, going back to the record events element. Both historical and political, or if they are both, record events. Now, a historical or more historical thing will do it purposely. It will try to record that event and make sure that it's done correctly. But remember, it usually does have an agenda, except it's more hidden. Now, when it records events in a more political nature here, what it is it's more unintentional. The Obama poster, it's unintentionally recording the election of Obama into office, the first African-American president. Another historical unintentional thing here, we can do it. It's memorabilia for World War. It tells us, you know, this is the first time ever in history that women were really pushed into having a job. Our roles changed as women. We were no longer housewives, we were in the workforce. Now, going back again to a story-like element. In a more historical type of artwork, a story-like element is to better portray the importance. the importance of the event, the importance of the issues, what was caused by the event, or what emotion people were feeling. Now, going back to the more political one, it's to present an issue. To say, if it is in a story, just like this political cartoon, this is what's happening, here it is, it's obvious, we want you to know. These are the types of elements that are identified in a historical and political artwork. Going over it one more time. How can art help solve, show, or bring up a problem or issue? Well, this has been tried to be done in historical and political paintings throughout history. It's done to show a purpose. It's done to solve a problem by, showing people what really happened and letting them know, you can do something about it. Or to bring up an issue that people maybe didn't know or weren't aware of. Just like Benjamin Franklin's tattoo. Maybe it's not obvious, but we have to get together. We have to become one country, or we will fall apart. Second question, what is idealized? Idealized means it's the best image of something. A little bit slimmer here, a little bit better there, looking more powerful or younger or vital, or showing that you're faithful. Why would it be important to idealize a self-portrait? Well, self-portraits back then were your calling card. Especially if you were a politician or someone in office. It was to show, this is the person that I am. This is the best person that I am. To show you in a good light, to make sure people liked you. Why wouldn't an artist portray an event as realistically as possible? Again, we wouldn't portray something as realistically as possible because maybe it was nighttime. The whole image would be dark. Or maybe it took such a long period of time that if you portrayed it realistically, you would miss a lot of important events or a lot of important people. These are all questions that are important to think about when we're working with historical and political artwork. And I hope that this lesson helps you identify those elements, commission, agenda, that they record events, that they are story-like of historical and political events.